All right. Now, I guess Korean policymakers might disagree with this, but I suppose that from the early 1960s onwards until the late 1990s, pop acts had to approach the market carefully in order to avoid being censored or banned by the various ethics committees. The standards were always intentionally vague, but I guess positive references to communism, pacifism, or Japanese culture had long been banned. Despite the first steps towards the running of democratic elections being made in 1988, the committees would take more than a decade to release their grips on cinema and both recorded and live popular entertainment. They continued to scan the words for specific references, as well as unacceptably crude expressions, but lyrics that called for freedom of expression, democracy, or pacifism were no longer banned per se. From the mid-1990s onwards, however, the committees began to relax their stance on pop music and public behavior, as well as a growing number of live pop concerts. The change in policy was probably underpinned by the increasing difficulty to maintain control over pop entertainment, which was now going viral, and the reassurance that South Koreans had come to embrace a significant degree of conformity and self-censorship. An added factor may have been that the success many new acts were having abroad encouraged policymakers not to intervene, with the momentum and risk of damaging Korean business interests, and I guess use those triumphs abroad to boost feelings of national pride instead. But Sothaejian Boys, which had been the most influential of the new acts since the early 90s, was still posing a set of challenges to the new cultural planet. In the early 90s, when media corporations were beginning to create and manage increasing numbers of so-called talents, pop idols who rely heavily on their work for the visual media, a number of mainstream acts emerged that incorporate a mixture of rap, hip-hop, and R&B. In the West, rap had been commonly associated with cultural or social criticism, and it is likely that many considered Korean acts that incorporated the style to be at least self-managed and to write and compose their own music. One of the very few mainstream acts that actually fit that description was the band created by Sothaeji in 1991. Although the music found instant appeal, he continued to innovate and set many popular trends in music, dance, and personal styling throughout the 90s. Borrowing sounds and dance routines from a wide range of musical styles, including rap, hip-hop, and metal, his act became a major inspiration for a new generation of students, as well as other successful boy bands such as H.O.T. and Zekskis, which did not innovate much, I suppose, and relied heavily on their appeal with teenage girls in their repertoires and performances.